that it wasn't. I kept confusing James MacAvoy with the guy from 21. You know, he's also in Cloud Atlas, Across the Universe. That guy.
Oh, Jim Sturgis.
Jim Sturgis. I apparently mix them up when they look nothing alike.
No,
it's kind of like how I always mix up Kevin Costner, Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis, and Kiefer Sutherland.
Those
That's
four.
Weird.
That's the strangest thing ever. Anyways, sup sluts. It is National Multiple Personalities Day, and you are tuning in to the Agree to Disagree podcast, episode 0, with your hosts Sean,
Aleks,
And
Arjun. All right, so I guess I'll give you a little context of how this all started. So it was just, we're 3 friends, and we just decided that we want to broadcast our thoughts and our inside jokes and all the things we like to talk about. You know, memes, politics, movies, whatever the fuck. So yeah, this is the first episode
on Multiple Personality Day.
On National Multiple Personality Day, March
fitting.
5th, 2017. So yeah, with that being said,
Let's friggin' start.
Let's do this.
Fucking do it.
Let's do it.
So I guess I'll be the I don't want to say moderator, but I'll pull up all the information that we need because I'm sitting in front of a computer, and I guess we'll just do that for the rest of our podcast. So I will be the Jamie. I'll be the Ben. I'll be the plug. We gonna do this.
Oh, you the plug.
Okay, so first, I actually noticed this video. And it was called Tech versus Trolls. And it basically outlines how Google is now going through, using an AI to go through comments and content on the internet to pull out what people believe to be the most toxic, quote-unquote, and most, quote-unquote, offensive to them, and the most, quote-unquote, triggering. And they have this AI that's doing that, and in the future they're planning on censoring content on the internet.
Is that actually what they're getting at? That they're going to start censoring content?
I think that's what it was saying. I'm going to pull up the video here. Of course, it starts with the ever-beautiful Tomi Lahren. Why that woman's still in a job, I'll never know.
Am I right?
I think I know.
Men?
I think I know what it is. It's probably just like conservatives that are just like, oh, she's hot. She hates Mexicans just like I do.
Let's give her a job.
And I think, because I think that's a modern trope, or not a modern trope, just like that's a huge thing with conservative news stations. You have your token black guy, you have like your token Hispanic guy, then you have like all these old white dudes, and then
a woman,
and then really hot blonde woman.
Yeah. So I'm just reviewing the video here, and it says that it's looking to assign all of your content with a toxicity rating.
That's such an overused term, toxic.
Absolutely. It's toxic! This is crazy!
That's my second personality. Happy Multiple Personality Day.
It's toxic. I think that sets a very, very dangerous precedent, because you could say like, oh, what you said was super toxic, and I'm gonna close off my ears so I don't have to listen to that opinion. It's just like people are devolving more and more into echo chambers on the daily.
It's just nuts.
Society's become more and more divided in terms of thought.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to pull up the actual widget that you can use to pull it up, like to search in, because they have it up and running.
Right.
Program. So I'm trying to find it because it's a little bit tricky to find.
Actually, yeah, we should try and find it and start typing in ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Or just even the most basic stuff, like, I don't know.
Someone wrote in this article by NY Mag,
and
it's about the Google AI doing the toxicity search and stuff. Someone wrote as a example question, "Normie scum must die." Mm-hmm. 95% similar to comments people said were toxic.
Oh, God.
Normie scum. What are they referring to when they talk about normies, though?
I don't know.
Like straight people?
I guess.
Or not,
like cis white male.
People who drive cars?
Or they're just talking about, like, people who live in their, like, parents' basement.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
That's true.
You
Twitter
normie.
trolls.
Yeah. I found it.
Sweet.
It's called Perspective
That's what it's called.
API.com.
Awesome. Let's do this.
For those interested in figuring out if you're normie scum and you must die.
Normie scum, you must die.
But it looks like you actually need to request access. This is ridiculous.
Do you have to pay money for those?
I don't think so. I'm not really sure. I don't think you can actually access it.
Alright,
good.
Which is weird because I feel like I was able to access it earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, in any case, shit like normie scum must die.
That's really tame.
Yeah.
That sets a really like low bar for like what people think is toxic.
Yeah. And I sort of feel like if you're gonna censor people, like the AI needs to be exponentially more intelligent to figure out like contents and nuance, which is something that we discuss a lot, like even in our own conversations, our own personal conversations outside of, like, if someone says like, I bet if you punched in punching Nazis, it would read as like 99% toxic.
Yeah.
But like, there's no context and there's no nuance there. Like,
Exactly.
You have no idea.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
You can't. There's. I don't know. I feel like context and nuance doesn't really exist online. Once you put something out there, people are just going to interpret it as
absolutely,
whatever.
absolutely. We live in an age that's like post nuance, so
Yeah.
you can just say one thing and then people are going to interpret it however the fuck they want. You know?
And I think that the toxicity rating is toxic in itself. Like there's an episode of Black Mirror where everybody they carry around a little device and it allows you to see everybody's rating on you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say something like I don't believe in punching Nazis, people who do believe in punching Nazis would like vote you down.
Mm-hmm.
And that
That's
becomes
scary.
like a social issue. So to have your own toxicity rating published on whatever you write, that could have some serious backlash.
Yeah, exactly. And I forget what I was going to say. Never mind.
Welcome to the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus.
No, but I think that that's toxic in itself. You shouldn't.
I mean, the only toxicity rate I should be worried about is if level of like toxic waste and like your water.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
like-
Climate change isn't real, so just slow your roll there, okay?
No, I was just watching The Crown.
Toxicity rating 900.
I was watching the show on Netflix, The Crown, and there was this like infamous London fog that happened in the 50s that lasted for like 2 weeks, and a bunch of people died because they couldn't see any.
Jesus Christ.
Like people would get like hit by cars or couldn't see anything, and people were mad at Winston Churchill because he wasn't doing anything. He's like, Mr. Churchill, what will you do about this giant fog? And he says, young man, when it rains for a long time, it's called a deluge. When it snows for a long time, it's called a blizzard. When it's sunny for a long time, it's called a drought. This will pass by. He's basically like giving an anti-climate change message.
Oh no.
And the only thing that like convinces him to like do something about it is that like some girl that was like helping him out in his office gets like killed. She gets like hit by a car. Spoiler alert. And then he realizes, oh, because of that dead girl, I suddenly believe in climate change now. Now I must
my
do something
God.
to stop the fog.
They had a similar issue during the Olympics. Was it in Taiwan? Does that sound right?
Oh,
Beijing.
Beijing.
Beijing. It was in
2008,
Beijing,
right?
And there
Yes.
was such a fog, and they didn't think that the Olympics would be able to go on.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Didn't they put something in the air to make it? You
Yeah,
know,
they
so
did
it
like a
would-
sucker kind of thing, like
So it
something that would
wouldn't
like
rain.
absorb the It's nuts.
So was it like fog or was it smog?
One-
It was
one-
smog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's caused by pollution.
Exactly.
And then it would cause like artificial rain? Or
Yeah.
not like artificial
Like
rain?
Like
acid
acid
rain.
rain, which is
Right.
even worse.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So-
it was the same thing in The Crown. It was smog. I said fog, but like Winston Churchill thought it was
Still.
fog and didn't believe in climate change until one of his helpers died. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, suddenly I believe in it.
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
because now
everybody-
there's a personal stake in it.
Exactly. But I feel like everybody kind of, even if you don't believe in climate change, there are aspects of climate change that you do believe in. Like,
Yeah.
there's no denying certain things like there's smog in the world, and that is caused by climate change. Like, that is an element of climate change.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
not caused by climate change.
No,
it's
it's
caused by pollution, which causes climate.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of think it's really funny because you have the outright misbelievers who are totally painted like idiots, rightfully so. But then there's like you have your right wing talking heads. Like you'll have like I saw this interview with Tucker Carlson and Bill Nye, where Tucker Carlson was saying he was basically going around and saying he's like, I'm not saying that this stuff isn't happening, but I'm saying that, like, the climate changes over time. It just happens no matter what.
Which is true, but we're contributing to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I will give you an example of when climate change did happen. So, you look at Greenland today. At about 900-ish years ago, the Vikings colonized part of Greenland. If anyone tried to do that today with their technology, it would be near impossible. Because it's so much colder than there now. But that was 900 goddamn fucking years ago.
Yeah.
The climate is changing at such a way faster rate that, like, people who are calling themselves climate skeptics are saying that, like, oh well, it's like the climate changes no matter what, so, like, this is just part of it. This is just another cycle that we're going through. Wrong, exactly.
Wrong.
Fucking knobs. It's like, and I'll bring it back, and we can bring it back to, like, context and nuance. There's no context to that thought. Mm-hmm. All you're saying is like, oh, climate's changed before. There was tons of CO2 and the dinosaurs were around 65 fucking million years ago. So, you know, climate change is bullshit. I'm gonna keep driving my truck.
My Hummer.
That's like the naggy mom in all sitcoms. Like, Bob, you said 6 years ago when we first got married. Like,
Honey, I don't remember saying that.
So now that we've all agreed on
moon.
this, and even though we are called the Agree to Disagree podcast, it seems that we've all agreed on something.
Yeah, we all three of us have a working brain. That was actually just a test.
Off to a first start.
Yeah, we were testing if any of us had a brain.
It's gonna get a lot more brutal, I think.
I hope so.
Should we move on?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a segment which I like to call This Week in BuzzFeed.
Yes.
And actually, that might be a working title because the trending topics, the top 10 on BuzzFeed, is ever changing. Even if I were to refresh the page right now, a new list of 10 would come up.
Okay.
But should we start at 1 or should we start at 10?
10. Are we gonna go through all of them?
Some of them aren't really worth talking about, but I'll just tell you what they are, so we can be like, that's stupid.
Okay.
Keeping in mind, though, that BuzzFeed is a lot of people's primary source of news.
Unfortunately.
Not that people will seek out BuzzFeed for their news, it's just a lot of people are more inclined to not look for news or not, have their homepage set to Breitbart or fucking CNN or whatever.
Yeah. Or Washington Post or, like, the New York Times.
It's not in their face.
Wall Street, of course.
But stuff on BuzzFeed is easy to click to, which will generally lead you to click on other things.
And it's written at, like, a 5th grade level, so... Absolutely.
So this information is super accessible to every single person, and I think that through this segment, we'll learn that a lot of... it can be seriously problematic to...
Damaging.
The people of our generation.
To, political opinion. Like, because it is so popular... There's kind of this whole, everybody else is thinking it, so I should think it too, for people who don't really have a political opinion. Like, I know when I was 17 and 18, I didn't really have a political opinion. I just kind of went with, like, the whole, we were talking about this, the whole, like, do you think that women should be paid the same as men for the same jobs? Yes. Then I'm a feminist.
Congratulations!
Like, yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then I subscribed to feminism because that was it, but then kind of through more research, I still consider myself a feminist, but not in the like neo-feminism way that it is today. In the way that a lot of women practice feminism in the sense that it's like, I hate all men. Like, men suck. Men are out to ruin the... Like, that's not true, and I don't. Anyway, not to go off on a tangent here, but
you don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, and I kind of hate to be the person who's like not all men because that is also very toxic.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways, because I think that in saying not all men, you're also kind of discounting the truth that is a lot of men. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
I don't know. Anyway, back to this minute in BuzzFeed.
Okay.
Number 10. Something that super pisses me off, and I want to kill people when I hear this.
Okay.
Literally just 27 really hot photos of Justin Trudeau. Are you fucking kidding me?
Of Justin Trudeau?
Prime Minister. Oh yeah. By the way, we are recording in the nation's capital of Canada, also known as fucking desert tundra.
It's so cold.
It's so goddamn cold.
It'll warm up eventually,
but can we just talk about how we've just, in writing this and publishing it internationally, you've just completely delegitimized any kind of political decision that Justin Trudeau has ever made.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of decisions that he's made that have been really, really detrimental to a lot of people, or really, really beneficial to a lot of people, and you want to shrink that down and pinhole it to, he's the hottest prime minister in the whole world. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's fucking ridiculous, because it brings up a giant double standard. Because what if Angela Merkel... I'm not trying to give an opinion on Angela Merkel's appearance. Actually, fuck it, I am. She's not a very attractive woman.
In your opinion?
She's old. Whatever. I don't find her attractive.
She ain't your type, boy.
But if Angela Merkel was like super hot and someone made a top 10 like whatever, a bunch of pictures of Angela Merkel being super sexy, BuzzFeed would lose their collective mind. All the SJWs would start crying, and the fact that they won't even think twice about doing this for Justin Trudeau, that to me is sexist.
No,
I agree.
I feel that, it's kind of the thing where, going back to Alex's point, the fact that, well, first of all, the fact they started with the article, literally, this is because you're mentioning written at a 5th grade level. It's like, literally, this is, how do you start an article with that? That's just a separate thing, but I don't know.
I mean, technically it is literal, because it's just 27 photos. I haven't clicked on it. I won't give them the clicks for it.
You don't want to see, like...
Is cancer.
You don't want to see, like...
Get your chemotherapy ready, guys.
You don't want to see, like, the Wall Street Journal start their article, like, literally, the stock prices, or just, like...
Or the Wall Street Journal publish something like, PewDiePie is literally a Nazi. Like, come on!
Yeah.
Figure it out!
He's literally a Nazi, deal with it.
Oh my god.
I don't
Okay.
know.
So
I think Arjun still has some more points, because we keep cutting him off with our big-ass fucking mouths.
No, I was
Honestly,
pretty much...
white privilege is overwhelming.
No, I was pretty much going to say the same thing, that, like, you're sort of, in a way, he's done some good things, he's done some bad things, but to go like, oh, he's hot, I'll vote for him, or I'll support whatever he does, it's just, really shallow that way.
Of course.
It's just clickbait, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
That's all.
So,
Exactly.
I think every time we do one of these, we should go around and do a 1 out of 10 or a 1 out of 5 of cancer rating.
Oh shit. Maybe we should do it in 4. Because stage 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes. So for me, this is stage 2 cancer.
This is stage 4 cancer for
Stage
me.
4.
Wow.
This is basically incurable. Well, maybe stage 3. Chances of curing it are low. Still possible.
Yeah.
But I find it very hard to retract your statements that the only, quantifiable qualities of a prime minister is that he's hot.
Yeah. Or the only thing
you're going to publish is that he's hot.
The only thing you can come up with is his appearance.
Meanwhile, we're talking so much shit about Trump, and, don't get me wrong, I am not a Trump supporter by any means. I fucking hate the guy. I hate Trump.
Yeah.
That said, nobody's talking about, his appearance or, literally just 27 pictures of Trump's amazing house in New York. We aren't...
I'm sure it's a nice house.
I'm sure it's very nice. Trump's house.
A politician is a politician is a politician. Mm-hmm. They all make decisions that affect vast numbers of people.
Yeah.
And to just boil that down and be this is their quality that we are going to publish, and that is it. And, they're also doing that, I find, with Trump, too. About, we're just going to publish the shit about him being sexist or racist or this or that and the other thing. And, there are a lot of things that I don't agree with about Trump. And I don't think that he's ever made a decision that I do support. But, luckily, I'm Canadian. I don't have to deal with it directly.
Yeah.
However, you could at least fucking publish something. If there's something that he's done that's agreeable, cut him some slack at least.
Yeah, of course. Give Trump credit where it's due, but more importantly, talk about the fucking policies. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All they're saying is that he talked about grabbing a woman by the genitals. Not great, kind of dumb thing to say. He said it off the record, but still kind of stupid. But sites like BuzzFeed wouldn't be caught dead talking about some of the things he's going to do, like deregulate Wall Street again, and try to deregulate the FDA, and try to do a bunch of shit like that, because they know. Because BuzzFeed knows that talking about the policies
is boring.
And their politically uneducated following and audience is going to be like, oh, this is too many words. Too many. Oh, what? Furthermore, what does that mean? The Food and Drug Administration. What the fuck's that about?
What's food?
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh no, I'm done. I'm just gonna go watch YouTube videos.
Or look at these
Okay.
27 hot pictures of just.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's move it on.
Number 9.
17 little sexist moments that take place in the bedroom. Should we open this one up?
Yes.
Sure.
Perfect.
I'm
All right.
already going like.
I'm not gonna. Let's try not to take too much time on each of these because this is 17 things.
Yeah,
and
it's going to take forever.
I mean, I don't even want to really give them my clicks at this point. However, you know, sometimes it's good for the content. When he starts,
Wait, who wrote this? Who wrote these articles?
This was written by 4 women. All based out of Brazil.
Cool.
Oh.
When he starts to go in with little regard for whether you're actually ready for him. Okay, yeah, I could say that that's rude.
Yeah, it's rude.
Is it sexist?
I guess it all depends on your meeting, but like, I don't know. Just don't be a dick in the bedroom. If it's not ready for you, then do something.
If the stove's not hot, you ain't cooking.
Exactly.
Never once asking what you like. Listen, if you're with a partner who doesn't ask you what you like, you're with the wrong partner. Find someone else or tell them to ask you.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of this has to do with, like... Communication. Like, and the other thing, going back to what we were saying about the first one...
Yeah.
Little regard, actually, whether you're actually ready for him. How about that's being an asshole? Like, these two things are assholes. And while... being sexist is an asshole move. I think this also brings back the topic of toxicity and throwing words around like sexism and racism and shit like that around for, you know,
throwing it out willy-nilly with
this is nothing compared to what actual sexism is like. Compared to actual sexism that happens in the world, you know what I mean? Like, you ever heard of female genital mutilation? Or the fact that women can't drive in Saudi Arabia? Or the fact that female infanticide, at least was at one point in recent history, I don't know if it still is, fairly rampant in Korea and India?
I think it still is in North Korea. I could be wrong about that. I got that information from Vice, I believe. So, I mean...
Everything happens in North Korea.
Yeah.
You know, they...
Grain of salt.
Everything and nothing we know about.
Exactly. Alright, what do we got?
Or when he gets all weird when you ask him to wear protection. This has actually happened to me.
Okay.
And that is actually considered sexual assault if he tells you that he won't.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And I don't think that's sexist. Again, I think that's being
reasonable and safe.
You're being reasonable and safe, and he's being someone who's about to sexually assault you if he says no. So, not too sure. And again, I don't want to throw around the word rapist because that becomes a whole other issue. You know? When he still tries that old line about condoms killing the mood, so you'll give up on using protection. Is this sexist? No.
No, it's just
he's an asshole. Find someone else who respects your genitals.
You don't need to have sex with this person.
This should all just be boiled down to just don't be an asshole. That's just what the article reads, and then just not come up with 17 things about it.
Just more things about protection. Fuck it.
When he comments on how long it's taking you to finish, okay, he's an asshole. Break up with him. When he knows that you don't like something, but you still have to put up with the hearing, come on, do it for me. Again, he's an asshole. However, if you're with someone who does all of this, I would probably say that they are at least a little bit sexist, because thinking that you're just going to submit to him because he asks you to is sexist.
Or they're at least inconsiderate of what you want.
Yeah. Or if you're with someone who is sexist, it's probable that they'll do these things. It's probably more accurate.
Sure, yeah.
If someone is sexist, they probably think that a woman is just going to submit to whatever you ask them to do. That's possible. Yeah, sure. But I don't think that being an asshole makes you sexist. Just like I don't think being an asshole makes you a bigot. I don't think that being an asshole makes you this, that, and the other thing. I think that if you're an asshole, you're a fucking asshole.
That's again, that's what this whole article boils down to. Just
yeah, I think we get the consensus here. I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
This is still like a stage 2 for me.
Yeah.
Like curable, but you gotta act now.
Stage 2.
And what's interesting is I think that in the comments, people are just like
tearing it apart.
Yeah, nobody's saying like this isn't sexism, but a lot of them are saying he's the wrong person for you if he's like this. It does happen sometimes, and it's fucking stupid. It happens in marriages, it happens in relationships. So I would say that this is stage 1 cancer. Totally curable. People are starting to get their heads out of their ass and say, like, yeah, this is asshole material. The next step, I think, would be... Your next step of treatment would be take away the word sexism, because this ain't it, honey. Like, all of these things together could indicate sexism, but it's not.
Do you guys think that movements like the social justice, far left movement, like ideology and ideologues and like websites like BuzzFeed and the Huffington Post, do you think they're on the decline?
I think so.
No.
No, you don't think so?
I think they're close to their peak.
I think they've peaked. I think they've peaked, and they've totally shown that they, much like the mainstream media, I think they're the ones who fucked up.
I agree.
Because now Donald Trump's in office,
and now they have people like us saying like this isn't fucking sexism. Stop publishing this bullshit.
And furthermore, I would also like to point out that they were saying forever that it's just like Hillary Clinton is going to become the first woman president, blah, 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 when there were tons of people saying that Hillary Clinton is a garbage candidate who's done some very questionable things in her time in any sort of office. Yeah. And she is not the president of the United States right now. What's going on, BuzzFeed? What you got, BuzzFeed?
Take this color test and we'll reveal the one secret you don't want anyone to know.
Let's do it.
I'm not going to do that.
What ball? I want to know about my secret.
Okay, but listen.
No.
It's going to take forever.
But listen, there's, one, take this color test. Can you pass this challenging timed food quiz? Only people with perfect vision can see these images. That is something that has been going around since I was in grade 4 and the internet became a common household thing. Mm-hmm. Like, optical illusion websites, sure. Reasons Chrissy Teigen is the BFF we all deserve. Build a bowl of Chrissy Teigen is John Legend's wife.
Oh, she's the one on the internet all the time?
Yeah.
Or Twitter?
Quizzes like, how do you drink these drinks? Build a bowl of mac and cheese and we'll accurately guess your, I want to say probably age.
What?
But
Are they psychic?
I guess. But I think that the problem I have with these is that you have all of this mixed in with political stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes those things look very clickbaity, and it also, which is fine if you want to pull someone into your website with shit like build a bowl of mac and cheese and we'll guess your age. If you have like 15-year-olds doing that and pulling them in so that they can click on other things about politics and get them politically engaged, I think that's great. However, pushing a political opinion on them, I don't think is great.
That doesn't work.
I definitely don't think
ethical.
it's great, but I will, I'm not trying to defend BuzzFeed.
Mm-hmm.
But every single news outlet, organization, everything from like Breitbart to BuzzFeed to the BBC, no matter which way you try and look at it, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone is coming to it with an opinion. As much as they can try and stay partisan, not partisan. Try to stay what's the word I'm looking for? Neutral, I guess.
Yeah, neutral. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Like as much as one person tries to stay neutral, you're going to, like, your opinion's gonna leak through somehow. You know?
But they also have that mixed in with Emma Watson is very confused about the backlash to her Vanity Fair thing, which I think is fair.
Wait, what'd she do on Vanity Fair?
So she posed a quote-unquote topless photo of... Vanity Fair published this photo of her...
Who, Hermione Granger?
Hermione.
Hermione.
Harry, you
it's Leviosa.
It was a see-through top, I guess, but it's...
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but
it's just a picture.
It is important because it's...
I haven't seen the picture anyway, so...
It's this.
Let me take a look. That's not too bad.
No, but people are slut-shaming her, and I think that needs to come to an end, so I sort of think that this is valid.
Okay.
To be on their top posts.
I kind of think that, like... if people are gonna slut shame, they're gonna do that no matter what. They're just ignorant fucks. And
No,
they
but
should stop.
coming back to the topic of this is a huge platform, I think that it's good to tell people don't be a fucking asshole.
At least take some responsibility, you mean?
Yeah, no, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Alright, moving on. We'll do like a few more and then we'll move on.
And I think, and the only one that we haven't covered is I tried the air fryer kitchen gadget that's all over the internet.
Air fryer kitchen gadget.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically, my parents have one. It's a deep fryer that...
Oh, and it spins it around like this tube?
Yeah, it convects it, and you only use like a tablespoon of oil, and it deep fries stuff.
That's pretty cool.
It's super sick. It works amazing, and I can see why people are interested in that.
I want to use that someday.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, BuzzFeed, go fuck yourself.
They also have stuff about the Cash Me Outside girl. Funny but true signs. 8 clever ways to spend less money this month. Stuff that, I mean, we always complain that we didn't learn in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
Are you shilling? Are you shilling for BuzzFeed right now? What's going
No,
on?
but I am saying there's some stuff on this website that is valuable to young people. Do I think that choose your favorite swear words and reveal your fave sex position is valuable to people
No.
No, of course not.
in their everyday life? No, it's a time
this is
killer.
good. This is a bit of a, life-threatening thing. I need to know which swear words in order to...
Yeah, this is I need to know this stuff, and I also need to know the super hot pictures of Prime Minister haircut.
Yeah, no, because if there's anyone that I have a huge crush on right now, it's the Prime Minister of Canada.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then there's other stuff that I think is valuable to everyone. Like, if you get 3 out of 7 on this quiz, you're getting sucker punched by fake news. I think it is important for us to be able to decipher real news from fake news.
Yeah, BuzzFeed is fake news.
BuzzFeed is biased news.
I'd say they're pretty fake news.
I don't think that they publish anything that is illegitimate. I think that they definitely post stuff that has a very unsavory bias.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, in an ideal world, news shouldn't have a bias.
That's
But
true.
it always will.
It always will.
But I think the difference is that BuzzFeed's just laying it on thick.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, they're
agree.
more obvious about MTV is, super obvious about it.
Yeah.
At
Like,
least
Breitbart is super obvious, you know.
I guess
the Blaze is super obvious.
I guess it depends on how much you sort of wear your opinion on your sleeve.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, go fuck yourself, BuzzFeed. Let's move on.
Moving
Bye-bye.
on. So,
Moving on.
next we decided to do this little game where we would take a political spectrum test.
Alrighty.
So if you guys are not familiar with the political spectrum, I think it was a company based out of the UK, and it is politicalcompass.org, and we are going to ask all the questions, deliberate upon them, or pontificate upon them, and then give our opinions. And then answer it. So it's basically like it's a 4 options. So there's strongly disagree to strongly agree. So strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree. And we will go
Arjun,
through
why
them.
don't you pull it up on yours too?
Okay.
I'll just I'll air you over the link on the feed.
The political compass.
Yeah. I can just send you the link if
Politicalcompass.org.
you'd like.
It's okay. I can look it up.
You got it?
Because I think I know which one you're talking about.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've taken it a bunch of times.
And
Yep.
this is actually 6 pages, so there's some of these that I
Look-
think that we'll probably have similar.
Politicalcompass.org.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright, how should we start this, you guys? Who should go first?
So I can read the questions and then we can discuss. I have hiccups though. Okay, question 1. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations.
I'd say I agree with that.
I'd say I'd strongly agree with that because I can just imagine a dystopian future where corporations run everything.
Yeah, I think I strongly agree with that because I tend to think that the 1% wealth thing is pretty toxic.
Yeah. What about you, Arjun?
Yeah, I'd say strongly agree.
Amazing.
Cool.
I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong. Disagree.
I disagree. I wouldn't strongly disagree, but I disagree. What about you, Arjun?
I'm probably going to have to go with disagree as well. So I guess it's one of those things where it would depend on the situation. Mm-hmm. I guess it'd be like if Canada, I don't know, did something wrong to another country, but you still stand behind their decision. Do you be I know it's kind of a tough situation, but in a way I kind of like have to at least show some support just because it's my country.
My logic on it is I wouldn't do that for a friend, and I don't think I would do it for my country either.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I'd say disagree then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you guys.
No one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Arjun?
I'd say I sort of agree, because when you think about it, like, you know, you have like concepts of like open borders and the whole idea with the internet now we're all connected. I feel it's kind of like when no one chooses his or her country of birth. It's kind of like one of those things where you also talk about like being a citizen of a certain country, and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about that.
I should
put more thought into it.
I'm writing that I disagree, because I think that no matter where you come from, you should be proud of it, unless like you really did not support your country, like it did a lot of things that you didn't agree with. Then I probably wouldn't be proud of where I'm from. However, I didn't choose my family, and I'm still proud of my family, so inherently proud of my family, so I would choose agree. Not to strawman it, but
I chose strongly agree because I think that people who are touting nationalism over everything else, like you're not adding context to your argument. You're just saying that like, oh yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the United States has been doing. I'm going to stand behind my country, you know, because I'm a patriot.
I'm a red-blooded American.
Now
stand for the national anthem.
I like children. I like women. I like to eat food.
Like steak.
Yeah, that was me trying to be Aleks Jones. I don't know if I'm really like. I just kind of think like I don't want to like. I don't know if I'm strawmanning this, but like. I kind of think it would be like it's a tough position to be in if you're trying to defend your country when they've done some pretty terrible, terrible things.
I guess in a way, I feel it's kind of like sad that people divide themselves based on like nations and borders. In a way, sort of like to Alex's point, it's almost a thing where it's like you don't choose the family you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like, you know, you're sort of being foolish about like a piece of land that you were born on. In the end, you should try to, you know, at least contribute to, well, not contribute to the world, but do what you can to sort of like work together with one another, regardless of like the sort of geographical divide.
But I do think that what I said is a double-edged sword, because if you really don't agree with anything that your country did, which I see being very, very unlikely, because generally you're raised nationalist, like you're raised to celebrate Canada Day.
Absolutely,
and you're raised to, you know,
celebrate Independence Day.
So I disagree with both of you.
Okay.
You what?
I wrote I disagree. I think it isn't foolish to be proud of
Oh,
where you
cool.
come from.
All right.
So,
Okay.
our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Oh, strongly agree, of course.
Are you serious?
No, of course. Are you Yeah, I strongly agree.
This is about to turn into
You guys want to leave?
You almost just witnessed a breakup.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
First episode.
No, I'd put strongly disagree. That's ridiculous.
Same.
I agree. I mean, I strongly disagree. I agree with you guys.
Are you sure?
I agree. I
Yes.
strongly disagree with you guys. You have to like, because if you, I don't know, someone could take that out of context. Like, she said that she agrees.
Gosh, racist.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
No.
What? No. You, make
That's
your
a,
own
that,
damn opinion.
That's a tactic, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of think that you'd be like, oh, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so like we're going to supply, because kind of like what the United States did in Afghanistan in the 80s, where they supplied Al Qaeda or the Taliban. They supplied to the Taliban to fight the Soviet Union, and then it fucking blew up in their face.
It's hard to trust people, basically.
Yeah, and it's just like I know that strongly disagreeing with this or disagreeing with this kind of makes me I don't know if it makes me an ideologue or if it makes me someone who's trying to be all rosy and standing on principle too much and not being pragmatic. But I do believe that that if you just see the enemy of my enemy is my friend, you're gonna run into a bunch of problems. So I would
Make your own damn
I would put disagree, not strongly disagree, but disagree.
I would disagree as well.
Strongly disagree.
Okay. I sort of feel like if we continue at this pace, we're going to be taking this test for like
It's
3
gonna be
hours
taking-
together. So, we could read the questions,
And then
answer
just-
on your own, and then at the end of it,
Okay.
we'll discuss some of them. But I
Okay,
sort of feel
cool,
like
cool.
if they don't need to be discussed, let's
No,
not.
I understand.
Totally understand.
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Freudian slip.
There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment.
Fake news.
Holy shit, yeah. Now more than ever, I feel.
Fake news.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Oh my god.
The best kind of entertainment / education is entertainment.
People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
Okay.
Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation.
Okay.
In quotes, from each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea.
I think we need to talk about this one.
I think so, because I need a little bit of clarity.
So the person, Google it, and it'll tell you who came up with the quote. It's a bearded German man
Sigmund Freud.
who traveled around Europe. Freud was Austrian.
Jedem nach seinen Fähigkeiten?
Huh?
Karl Marx.
Yeah, Karl Marx. That was something that Karl Marx said. So it's essentially saying that, like, you work according to your ability, but you receive resources or money based on your need. So, like, essentially, doctors and cab drivers would make generally the same amount of money. This is my interpretation of it. And me, I think that's Marxism, and that doesn't really work. Yeah, exactly. It's not like, yeah. Fundamentally good idea, questionable.
It's like one of those things where it looks good on paper, but when you try to practice it, like,
Yeah.
actual real world thing.
Yeah, and exactly. It's like you... Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, like, on paper it seems like a good idea. Like, okay, you know...
That's the question it's asking.
What, if it's, like, good, like, in...
If it's a fundamentally good idea.
Like, if it's good, like, in real world practice, basically.
Well,
no,
if it's good
that's the opposite.
fundamentally.
It's not asking if it would be good in practice.
In
It's
theory.
asking if it would be good in theory.
In theory. Okay.
But part of the theory is the human element.
That's not what it's asking, because it's asking if it's a fundamentally good idea.
Fundamentally being the...
It's asking, do you think that this, as a standalone thing, is a good principle?
Okay.
It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product.
Okay.
Bro! Mm-hmm. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Mm-hmm. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Can someone explain that question to me?
Protectionism. Here, I'm Googling it right now. Protectionism, the theory or practice of shielding a country's domestic industries from foreign competition by taxing imports.
Oh, like what Trump's doing.
Yeah,
Trump's trying to do protectionism. Like tariffs.
Got it. I got it. Is everybody done?
I'm
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. The rich are too highly taxed. No.
I don't know. Why do you hate billionaires so much, Alex? They're just people. Why do you hate billionaires so much?
Are you asking me this as a serious question?
No. You can hear the...
Take your privilege.
Oh my god, I can't. I get so frustrated about that stuff. About, like, billionaires and, like, they don't give back to society taxes. It just makes me so frustrated. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. I have to think about that one. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public.
I think, yeah.
I strongly agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, if that were the case, we wouldn't have issues of people spouting off shit from BuzzFeed that they didn't know to be not real.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, I don't think it's necessarily talking about that. I think it's like, government should penalize businesses that mislead. So they say like, oh, our food isn't that bad. Our food isn't that bad for you. There's not that many chemicals in it. Or like a medicine that was put out that, oh, this opiate based painkiller isn't that addictive. Only like 1% of people get truly addicted to it. You know what I mean? That's what they're talking
like sort
about.
of like weaving around, like pivoting.
Yeah, you should be penalized for lying or misleading people.
Absolutely.
Like, oh no, there's no like deadly chemicals in this can of soda. This is totally healthy for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies.
Y'all ever heard of Comcast?
I heard they have a really bad like phone line. Like,
Well, the thing is that some places in the United States, your only internet provider option is Comcast. It's
Really?
Comcast or Comcast, yeah.
In some places in the States, you're saying?
Yeah.
It's like that in some parts of Canada, too.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, Bell has that, and I know my friend is from this tiny, tiny town in northern Quebec called La Tabatière, and you can only get Bell.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The freer the market, the freer the people.
We'll leave that
That sounds
one
like a
as it
tagline.
is. The freer the market, the freer the people. But my free market.
We're on page 3 of 6.
Alright.
Halfway. Almost. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal.
Strongly agree.
Oh my fucking god. Eat my ass, Mike Pence. Impregnate me. Let's figure out how your wife feels. All authority should be questioned. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Tooth for a tooth? What is
Jesus Christ.
That's like the original. That's the original expression.
Because I always just hear eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Realize,
Gandhi.
realize, realize. Explain that, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that could not survive on a commercial basis.
I don't know about that one.
I think that it's important.
I think that it is important, but it's kind of like art is subjective, right? A museum's is a different thing, but like...
It never asked about galleries. It
Well,
just
like
said
theaters. Theaters is art.
I get, or like museums.
But
Like
then
an
you're
art
saying,
museum.
like, we shouldn't pay to have culture.
Right,
We should just have culture. And
But it's
people should pay for it.
but it's all subjective, right? So if the local theater that is propped up by the government is putting on a production that you really don't agree with, and you realize that your tax dollars are paying for it to keep the lights on there.
But you're still also paying for the stuff that you do want to see.
But what if there isn't anything you want to see? You just think it's complete bullshit.
I don't think that is a situation that would ever happen.
Okay.
Because everybody has interests.
I'm sure many people have the same interests.
And the
That's
more
true,
money
yeah.
that are pumped into that economy, the more that you're likely to see more stuff that interests you. The same that you're more likely to see stuff that doesn't interest you.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Free.
Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory.
That's a tricky one.
Schools is in what? Like high schools, elementary schools? I think elementary schools, yes. College, no.
Well, whatever. I mean, it's pretty general, right?
Alright.
Okay, next one.
All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Holy shit.
Who wrote this one?
All people, oh my god.
The next one's hilarious.
Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Sometimes when my kid's out loud, it just needs a firm spanking on their
You know
soft
what? My
behind.
mom and I would have very different answers on this.
Of course.
Same with my parents.
Yeah.
Of course. Also, none of us are parents.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
we can't really...
The closest person to a parent in this room is me, because I was a nanny for a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever have to spank the child for doing anything
No.
wrong?
There were instances where I felt very upset with them, but I would never lay a hand on a child, ever.
Well, of course not. You would lose your job.
Well, and even if it wasn't my job, I feel like if I was a parent, I still, don't have it in me to ever lay a hand on a child.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd be like a story on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
If that were to
You'd
happen.
be on Dr. Phil.
Well, there
You would be on Dr. Phil.
There are tons of parents
Cash me outside.
who spank their children and think that it's okay. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a question in this.
That's true.
I think of have you guys seen American Sniper?
Yeah.
There was the opening scene where it's you're either the sheep or the wolf, or you're the sheep wolf. If you're one of the other two, and he just gets the dad takes off his belt, puts it on the table, it's I'll kick your ass.
Oh boy.
If you're a sheep or a sheep wolf?
No, if you're a sheep or if you're a wolf, then I'll kick your ass. You have to be a sheep wolf, which is a mixture of the two, meaning that you protect your kind, boy.
Oh, God.
That was the worst movie ever.
Really, you didn't like it?
I mean, it had its moments, but
Yeah.
listen to the Joe Rogan episode with Ari Shaffir. He pretty much breaks down the whole movie. It's pretty hilarious breakdown.
Cool.
Okay, but next
It's
one.
natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents.
Okay.
Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. I'm sorry I laughed. I don't think my parents should listen to this podcast.
Whatever, it's your opinion.
I don't think any of our parents should listen to this podcast.
No, probably not. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Actually, the last time me and Sean took this test,
one.
it was 4 months ago.
You missed one.
I'll come back to it.
Okay.
Just slow your roll there. The last time we took this test, we had a serious argument about this. About whether or not people with serious inheritable disability should be allowed to reproduce.
Are you sure? Are you sure there wasn't someone else?
No, that was you.
No, I don't know. What do you think about it?
Because I think that I said yes and you said no. I said that they should be able to reproduce and you said they shouldn't.
No, that's
You think it's
completely wrong.
irresponsible? You think that's irresponsible?
No, I think that they should totally be allowed to reproduce.
Then it wasn't with you.
It's not my right, or it's not the government's place to tell someone whether I think that is irresponsible if you have Huntington's disease running in your family.
Yeah.
Then
But it's
you probably
nobody's
shouldn't
place
have
to say
kids.
whether you
Yeah.
should or not.
You can't just be in their room and be like, hey, don't reproduce.
Or have a law against it. Or sterilize people who have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Slow your roll there, Joseph.
1984 stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs.
What do you guys think about that?
I agree strongly.
When you say equip the
disagree.
future generation, you mean provide the tools or at least teach them, or they're kind of vague with this one?
I think that it's really important.
To equip.
I think that education should first and foremost be about teaching people how to think critically, and teach people about the past, and teach people how to do math and do taxes and stuff like that. Stuff's important. But I think the number one objective of education is to teach people how to think critically. So you're not raising fucking sheep or people who are going to agree with everything the government does.
Interesting.
But wouldn't that be intellectually equipping them, or this?
Well, it would. I don't think, because it's not necessarily equipping them to have a job. Maybe it is.
You're saying equip them to be functional parts of society,
or equipping them so that they can stand up when they see something they don't like.
right? Okay, that's interesting. And because of that, I'm going to change my answer from strongly agree to agree.
Changing minds since
I'm going to
2017.
change mine 10%. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline.
See, that's
That's
another.
interesting.
I strongly disagree.
See, that's another loaded. See, what I noticed is that with this question and the last question is that there's always the one word that sort of makes it a loaded question, because when you read it, it sounds really vague, and it's what do you mean by equip? What do you mean by discipline? It's very vague, and therefore
I think that
too loaded of a question.
I wrote disagree, not strongly disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that it's important for a kid to learn, to accept discipline, but I also think that it's important to teach kids to know when they're in the wrong. It's more important to teach a kid to know when they're in the wrong than it is to teach them to accept that someone is telling them that they're in the wrong when they might not necessarily be in the wrong.
But I don't know what they mean by discipline. Being
It's a loaded
disciplined
question.
or learning or to become disciplined.
To accept discipline.
You mean accept getting whipped by an adult?
Yeah, or like getting in trouble. Well, because I kind of think that it's important. It's definitely not the most important thing. Like,
That's what it's asking.
fuck off, bro. But I kind of think that it is important so that you realize that there are repercussions for your actions. No matter what. There are repercussions for your actions no matter what. You know what I mean? But I definitely don't think it's the most important thing ever.
But the question isn't to accept repercussions, it's to accept discipline.
But discipline is a repercussion.
See, it's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is a loaded question.
Just like the equip question, you know, they're using one term very vaguely, and it's making you like figure like, okay, I need to think about this.
But that's part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that
and I mean,
interpretation
and I mean, we're talking about intangibles here.
Yeah,
that's the way politics are. You know,
Dems the Briggs.
Dems the Briggs. Yeah.
Okay.
There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures.
Absolutely not.
I agree with that.
Of course.
Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support.
I'm not sure about this.
You know what? I have experience in this, and I would say that I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because there have been situations, I'm not secretive about the fact that I've been on social assistance, and there have been situations where I've been offered an opportunity to do a job like telemarketing, or a job like door-to-door sales, or like offered jobs that are not anything that I feel comfortable doing, and to put myself out of my like moral barometer in order to not be on social assistance, to me is immoral.
I definitely think that like if you don't want to work, you should be able to expect some sort of help from society, but I don't think that you should be able to have a car. You should be able to like have a place to live, have some food on your table, an internet connection.
And that's what Social Security should afford to you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't afford to you that you should be able to buy a car on social assistance.
No.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that your opinion might be different if you hadn't lived with someone who had gone through all of this.
Maybe, yeah.
But everybody's opinion is changed on
exactly.
Right?
Our opinions are molded by our environment.
Exactly.
And stuff like that.
Exactly.
When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
Just smile and move on.
Now, to the mental illness community.
Shout outs to the mental illness community.
That's that is something I have a bit of a beef with, that everything is divided into a community. You know? Like what am I part of the straight?
It's a good way to separate everyone.
Yeah, but am I part of the straight white male community?
Yes.
But I don't see myself as a straight white male. Like, I am straight white and dude, but I just consider myself a human being. I don't know. Is that...
Okay, one ball.
I don't see color.
No, well...
Yes, that's...
Alright.
First-generation immigrants can never fully be... Oh, I skipped one, didn't I? No, I didn't.
Nope.
No, I think
First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their country.
Okay. Got that?
Almost. I just forgot to answer the other one. Okay.
What's good for the most successful corporations is always, keyword always, ultimately good for all of us.
Okay.
There we go.
No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding.
Okay.
4 out of 6.
Alright, now we are officially halfway through and have wasted about 25 minutes on this.
Oh, seriously? Jesus.
Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all of the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system.
See, here's my issue with this question. They're technically right.
Significant advantage of a one-party state
Like,
that it avoids all the arguments.
what do you think about this? Because I think that it's like, I think that this one, it's technically correct that like a totalitarian government can get things done all like super quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it right? Is it a good?
It's not asking if it's right or wrong.
It's just wondering, like, if you think that,
If that is the theory that would make sense.
or that. I guess they're also like telling you like considering what you've seen in the world of politics and, like, certain governments, do you think that's the case? Like, I could sort of see it with, like, something like a Trump being president. He's trying to get things done, and he's ignoring the other side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could understand, like, why that would sort of ring true, or that people would agree that that is the case, where it's, like, that's the advantage of, like, one party having the rule. In this case, it would be, right now, the Republicans, and they have their sort of, like, seats in everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, as a result...
Majorities all over.
And, you know, even if you do have, like, other parties, like, on your side, because they kind of have the upper hand, they're like, nope, screw you, we're not listening to you, we're doing whatever we want.
Yeah. So there are pros and cons to that system.
Yeah.
However, the question is one of the advantages of a one-party state or a totalitarian government, is one of the advantages of that it avoids all arguments that delay the progress. Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would say agree.
Yeah.
Because that is an advantage to totalitarian government.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good because it doesn't... Anyway.
It's effective, but I don't think it's necessarily
I don't think
good.
it's... Yeah.
Yeah.
But the question isn't whether or not it's good.
Yeah.
The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. I'm interested in hearing Sean's opinion about this.
I don't know, I could go on forever. I'll stick it to this. I think that the death penalty is barbaric, and prisons and the justice system should be reserved exclusively for rehabilitation, not for punishment, because punishing someone for committing a crime doesn't help them, and ultimately it doesn't help society. Because you're just making this person feel like shit for 10 years, and then you're throwing them back out there with a criminal record, no way to actually get a real job and support themselves, so they're gonna go back into crime.
Yeah.
And if you look at something like the risk principle, so someone goes into jail for doing a white collar crime, like fraud, like tax fraud, or like, I don't know, doing something stupid like robbing a bank, and then they end up sharing a bunk with someone who's in
Rape
jail
and
for
murder.
like for murder, and then the first dude gets out and he knows exactly how to scam people, exactly how to, you know, get into armed robbery and get into gangs, and then that's how it effectively goes.
Too many scenarios. We can make a whole podcast about the death penalty.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm gonna leave it at that though.
Okay.
In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded.
Okay.
Abstract art doesn't represent anything. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered at all.
Art at all? I mean...
That seems like an odd thing to put in a political compass thing.
Art is art. Art is subjective. Consider it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Just as we just discussed.
I very much agree with that.
Clearly. It is a waste of time to try and rehabilitate some criminals.
Some criminals. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers.
Okay.
Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries.
Okay.
I just have to read over that question again. I'm having a blonde moment.
A blonde moment?
Yeah, where I'm just like, oh, these are a lot of big words.
Oh.
Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources. Sure.
Alright.
Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity.
Okay.
Almost done.
5 out of 6.
Oh, I missed a question.
Wait, where?
Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. That was the third question down.
Only wrongdoers need to be worried.
That's a funny one.
I would love to see my dad answer that, actually.
Yeah.
Astrology accurately explains many things.
Absolutely.
You know what? You shouldn't say that because I actually wrote agree. And I have some scientific stuff that backs my opinion up on that.
Okay,
I won't get into it.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Because it's... And I've discussed it before, and, like, you've reasoned with me. And whether or not you agree or not, we agree to disagree.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time...
Okay.
I don't know that it explains many things, but I think that it explains some things.
Okay.
You cannot be moral without being religious.
Take that, atheists.
What you talking about?
Jesus.
Charity is better than the Social Security. Sorry. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged.
That's true. I heard some charities, there'll be like foundations that they'll be like, oh, we raised this much money, but whoever they're giving the money to, they only get like 20% of that, and they keep the rest to run things.
Of course, yeah.
Charity to be so crap sometimes. Some people are naturally unlucky. It is important that my child... Last question.
Yeah.
It is important that my child's school instills religious values.
There's still one more page. I like this one.
It's the next page.
Yeah.
Okay, finally.
Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state.
You are harboring enemies of the state.
No one can feel naturally homosexual. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Hey boy. Now let's see where you stand. Alright, Arjun, you go first.
Okay, let's see where I am. Hang on. Wait, is the result at the very bottom or the top, or...?
It's at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So you have, like, the first one where it explains it.
Oh,
and
here we
then
go.
It puts, like...
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so your political compass. Economic left/right. Negative 3.63.
So that puts you fairly close to the middle.
Okay, and social libertarian/authoritarian, negative 5.3.
Me and you were pretty close, actually.
Where were you at?
I'm middle left, negative 6.25.
Okay.
And middle libertarian,
okay,
negative 5.5. Yeah.
Mine's kind of in the middle of
libertarian.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm left libertarian. I think the way this is set up is that
They want everyone to be left libertarian.
Maybe, I don't know, but I am economic on the left, so I'm negative 5.5, and then social libertarian I'm minus 6.67.
Interesting.
So I am the socialist cuck of the group. Bow down to me.
It's the straight white male who becomes the socialist cuck in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Such an anomaly.
What a twist.
Hey, should we tip these guys the political compass? Do any of you have £5 British to donate to...
You got
Right, you got £5.
You can get your political compass certificate at www.politicalcompass.org. We're not sponsored, but I sort of wish we were.
And you can like save it.
Yeah, but otherwise you have to go through 6 pages of quizzing again and take forever to do it.
Maybe I'll do it some other time when I have.
Meanwhile.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun, guys.
All right,
honestly,
that was cool.
I'm basically Gandhi, so.
So for the people who are listening, you now know where we all stand, politically. So if you don't want to listen to two moderate leftists and one socialist cuck walking microaggression, then you don't have to listen to us. But if you think that you want to hear our opinions, or that you agree with us,
super disagree,
or that you super disagree and you want to watch us and or listen to us and totally just fucking tear our opinions apart, please go ahead, just give us a listen, give us a download, whatever, and
send us an email.
Yeah, whatever. Snail mail if you want. We haven't set up a P.O. box. We won't do that for a while.
Not yet.
But yeah, so that is where we stand politically. So yeah, what do we got next?
Next, I think that it would be good to talk about something other than something political.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Take a bit of break from the politic.
So,
Politicking.
why don't we play a game of Who Said This?
Who said this? So I'll introduce this segment. So Who Said This is a segment that I think Alex came up with.
You're right.
Yeah, Alex came up with Who Said This, and basically it's where someone reads a quote, and then we're given three options, and then or 3 or 4 options.
3.
We're given 3 options to figure out who it is. Ooh. So Alex is going to read us a quote, and then Arjun and I are going to alternate between guessing.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
The quote is, "We can do anything, walk into anywhere, and buy anything." Was that said by A, Chris Brown, B, Donald Trump, or C, Martin Shkreli?
Martin Shkreli. Okay, so Chris Brown, R&B singer who punched Rihanna. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump, current president of the United States. Mm-hmm. Martin Shkreli, farmer bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's the
AIDS
guy.
He owns the cure for AIDS, and it's
not the cure for AIDS. It's
wasn't it?
It's
no,
AIDS
it's not.
medication.
It's not the cure for AIDS.
Sorry.
I think it's Chris Brown.
You think?
I don't think it's Chris Brown. I think it's Martin Shkreli.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And the proud winner of my empty cup of tea with 2 tea bags in it is Arjun. It was said by Chris Brown.
I knew it. I knew it. That just sounds like a Chris Brown thing to say.
Yeah.
It is.
We can do anything, walk into anywhere, and buy anything.
Punch anyone.
Punch anyone. Grab anything by the pussy. All right. So how about those Pence emails?
Well, it's fucking stupid because it's just like Donald Trump campaigned on Hillary Clinton's emails and how I think he called her a nasty woman.
Yeah.
Nasty woman.
Yeah, nasty
He's a bad hombre.
Wrong. Yeah, we got some bad hombres.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking if you're like a Trump supporter who is just waking up to the fact that the Republicans are just as corrupt as the Democrats. And I kind of think that is what happens every time the political pendulum swings. Because whoever's in power for 8 years, they start to show their true colors.
Yeah.
And how corrupt they are.
It's just happening faster with
and
Trump.
Spoiler alert, both the parties are completely corrupt.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that people are like, but my emails. And then now it's like, which I was criticizing Clinton for.
Yeah.
I criticized her a ton about her emails, but now that it's Mike Pence, I'm not very surprised.
Because it comes to a point where it's like, it's just emails. It was bound to happen. When it does, it's just like, oh, it doesn't surprise me. I knew this was going to happen. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So long story short, y'all said it was going to be Hillary. Now it's the opposite. Mike Pence is a bitch, just as we all suspected. Yeah. Shout out to the cast of Hamilton.
What?
Now, going back to what we were saying about BuzzFeed, I'll take a quiz here.
Alrighty.
It is called, What % Sexist Are You?
Oh boy.
And on the picture, it is a picture of Piers Morgan.
Why Piers? I mean, I don't really like...
Piers Morgan's a piece of shit.
I mean, he is a piece of shit, but, like, I don't know why you'd have to put his picture there.
1776 will commence again if you try and take our firearms.
Stop.
That's hilarious.
Stop.
You're being very rude. You're losing fans because... We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll talk to... whoever.
Who's Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's do this.
Let's see how
Who should the breadwinner of a family be? The man, the woman, whoever gets paid more, it doesn't matter, or the dog?
Doesn't matter.
Whoever gets paid more, it doesn't matter.
I'm trying to open 3 tabs at once so that we could all do this at the same time.
Or I could do it on mine. Just to...
Oh, that's not correct. Hold on. I've already got it pulled up.
You good? Okay.
Yep. Who should spend more time on the housework? Men, women, it should be shared responsibility. Nobody, we should live in squalor.
That one.
Shared responsibility.
Shared responsibility.
Alright. And there we go. Have you ever described a girl as slutty? Yes, because she was so slutty in the past, but I feel bad about it now. I think it sometimes, but I never say it, and I would never. Arjun?
Number 3.
I'd put the second one. I don't know, because I'd put the first one, because I don't think I'd necessarily feel bad about it.
I would put the second one.
Because I don't really think that calling someone sluts is necessarily a bad thing. They just like to have sex with a lot of people.
Yeah, good point. Without thinking, pick a boss. Man or woman? Without thinking.
Man.
Oh, you're so sexist, Arjun?
I'm going to
So
jail.
are you.
I'm going to jail for
And
this.
frankly, I pick a man too, because I've never had a female boss that I really liked.
I have. I've had more male bosses in total. So.
Answer honestly, Arjun.
Mm-hmm.
Have you judged a woman's intelligence because of the way she speaks? Maybe, but I didn't feel great about it all the time, to be honest, or not.
First one.
Sean?
By the way she talks.
Yeah, her intelligence by the way she talks.
I don't know, but like, if someone's speaking at a 5th grade level, then I'm gonna think they're retarded, or that they're at least pandering to people who are retarded.
So, all the time?
Well, I really don't like this quiz, but yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Okay, Arjun, why do you think there is a gender pay gap? There isn't one. Pay discrepancies exist because women choose lower paid work.
Mm-hmm.
There just aren't enough women qualified to be in senior positions at their companies, or they're not interested in higher management. Or because women and the way they work, because women in the work they do are seen as less valuable.
What was the third one again?
Because women and the work they do are seen as less valuable.
I'm torn between 1 and 2.
I'd say 2.
Really?
I would say 2, yeah. Because I kind of want to go with number 1, but that's just looking at statistics from the past. Because it's been like a trend that women wouldn't generally go into fields that pay a lot more, such as like engineering, science, and maybe that is because, and maybe that is because women were barred from that traditionally. But I don't necessarily think that is every man's fault.
Mm.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Okay. Arjun, male or woman doctor?
Woman.
A woman doctor?
Yeah.
Sean?
Woman doctor.
The last doctor I went to. Family friend.
Woman doctor too.
I watched too much Grey's Anatomy, unfortunately.
I've never seen that show, actually.
It's not good.
Why do you think there are so few women in politics? Because men are more naturally suited to leadership in politics? Because women have babies in their 30s? Because voters are sexist, women aren't supported in government and face so much harassment? Because they just don't want to be.
Wait, they just don't want to be a 5th option, or...
What?
It's a 4th option. So the 3rd one is because voters are sexist, women aren't supported in government and face so much harassment. That's like all one. I would say number 4. Must be.
Probably. Yeah, I'll go with 4.
Because I kind of think the first one and the second one are bullshit, obviously.
I think I remember taking this quiz before, but I just wanted to see how it worked, so my answers probably may not be the same.
Maybe. Do women make good bosses? No, they have too much to prove, so they're just bossy. Yes, but not usually better than men. Yes, of course.
I would put the 3rd one.
Same. I think it all depends on experience.
Without thinking, pick a nurse. And there's a picture of a young woman with an afro, a young white man, and a young blonde lady.
I'd put the afro person.
First one.
The afro person?
Mm-hmm, first one.
Whatever happened to Afro Man the rapper?
There was like a story of
Because I got high.
There was like a story where he was like playing a show, and like someone went on stage and like kept telling him to play Because I Got High, and I think he like punched them or something.
Oh my god.
It doesn't surprise me.
It has been.
Can women be great mathematicians and scientists? No, otherwise we'd see more of their achievements in history. Depends, women's brains are better suited to linguistic and emotional intelligence. Yes, even though they have to plow through more BS to get there.
I guess the third one. I don't like this.
This is...
What do you think, Arjun, about that question?
I don't know, I have to see. A lot of these questions require lots of thought and introspection.
It's BuzzFeed. It's gonna be.
That shit doesn't exist.
You're super hardcore feminist, or
you're literally
you're
literally Hitler.
I think I did this quiz like a second time, and it said like you're only 6% sexist, but it's like, you know what, we have our sexist days sometimes, so it's okay. So no matter what the answer is, you're still a sexist.
So what is your answer? Yes, depends, or no?
Depends.
Depends, women's brains are better suited to linguistic and emotional intelligence?
Yeah.
And Sean, what did you pick?
The third one, I guess.
Okay. If you lost a sport to a woman, how would you feel? Annoyed, but I'm also a woman, so it wouldn't have anything to do with gender. Embarrassed, annoyed because I'm not like other girls, I'm good at sports. Happy, good for her, she's so sporty. Livid, but only because I'm incredibly competitive.
What does livid mean?
Super
Angry,
pissed.
I would put livid because I'm way too competitive for my own good.
Same.
Arjun, I wouldn't have pegged you for competitive.
I don't know. I'm kind of competitive for dumb reasons, so.
I think everyone who's overly competitive is not a smart reason.
Without thinking, pick a professor.
The homie in the middle.
Yeah.
Homie in the middle.
Me too.
He actually looks like a professor that I had.
Yeah,
He
because
looks like Sigmund Freud.
he's standing in front of a chalkboard.
That's like every standard look for I see whenever you see some TV show. It's like Professor So-and-so, and it's just some old guy with a beard.
Yeah, exactly.
His beard represents wisdom.
Beard and chalkboard.
I've been everywhere. Now I'm going to write my wisdom on a chalkboard.
Can women be funny? They're generally...
Unless they're Amy Schumer.
Hope she doesn't listen to this.
She won't. We have 0 listeners. They're generally less funny because they don't have to be funny to attain a mate. No, women are expected to be nice and quiet by society, which is very unfair, but leads to them being less funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take that one. BuzzFeed is cancer. BuzzFeed is cancer.
Take you down.
Take it to the mic. BuzzFeed is cancer.
Who should spend more time raising kids? Mothers, fathers, whoever is able to.
Whoever's able to.
I wrote fathers.
Did you actually?
No.
Wouldn't that make you anti-sexist?
Sexism goes both ways.
But it doesn't.
Stop. Stop.
Just look at the BuzzFeed comments section. I think there was a...
Arjun, has anyone ever called you sexist? Just answer it and I'll find the right answer.
No.
No?
No. I'm just looking back at my, memory, and my memory, I think
that would stick out to you.
Yeah, because if someone said straight out, you're a sexist, it would be, imprinted in my brain, and it would,
Absolutely. I've been called sexist before.
I mean, there's been times where it's, I've been accused of things that were, alluded to sexism, but, we'd talk about it, and it turns out it was just a differing opinion, but never, straight out, you're a sexist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think sexism still exists? No, yes, or it's just not as bad as it used to be, so I think people are exaggerating how bad it is now.
That one.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I really disagree. Alright, Arjun, you're 46% sexist.
Oh, okay.
You're terrible.
Careful, you're in real danger of sexism. Think before you speak, and think before you think. Just think more, because sexism is bad.
That's actually kind of true. Sometimes I don't put much thought into things I say, and I could be a bit impulsive with what I say.
Sean, you got 39% sexist. Careful, you're in real danger of sexism. Think before you speak, and think before you think. Just think more, because sexism is bad.
Don't go into the deep end, kids.
And the woman
the
in the
socialist
room
cuck is also a sexist.
got 32% sexist. Careful, you're in real danger of sexism. Think before you speak, and think before you think. Just think more, because sexism is bad.
You're not actually sexist, you're just internalizing the misogyny.
Honestly, You're probably right.
I'm not.
Thank you, BuzzFeed, for this rather...
Sponsor me, BuzzFeed.
Yeah, sponsor us.
We'll rip you a new one, but it'll be fun.
We'll get you more viewers, and that'll get us money and stuff.
Yeah, we will get you hate clicks.
Oh
There will be hate clicks, but at least there'll be clicks.
It'll still be hate. It'll still be hate bait.
We're still gonna bring you some content. You know?
Yeah, you got something.
I can't wait for us to have our own BuzzFeed article. These 3 Canadian idiots think that sexism is funny, that racism isn't real, and that politics are stupid.
In the described podcast, agree to disagree. These 3 morons
Liberal cucks
from Canada think they know everything, but guess what? They're wrong.
They think that just because they have a woman on the podcast makes it okay for them to say stuff like, the glass ceiling isn't real.
Or just because they have a brown guy on the podcast, they could say things like, yo, Apu, get me a Slurpee.
Just squishy.
Whatever.
You uncultured swine.
What are you looking at, you hockey puck?
Honestly, to be honest, we only have Arjun on the podcast for quotas.
For oppression points.
Yeah, and
honestly.
oppression points.
Holla.
Same for women.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So do we have anything else, or are we
That's
cutting
it.
this out?
That's it.
That's
I
pretty
feel like we've been sitting here for 6 hours, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to pee really bad. Typical woman stereotype. Bladder size of a pea.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever's listening, go
Save
fuck
us.
yourself.
Save me.
And
I'm being held hostage by a white man and a brown man. Something bad is going to happen. They haven't told me what, but something bad is going to happen.
something might happen, but you don't even know.
Oh, hey.